So welcome, we're coming, let's talk property. We're here in America. We've got RJ. RJ, you've got 32 years of experience. We've had an absolutely amazing day today. Comical like anything. I mean, honestly, the profanities, but the knowledge have been incredible. But to be fair, you know, they always say in business it's also about having fun. So thank you for it. It's been an absolutely incredible day. Now tell us, we're in Atlanta. Just tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Sure, I will. Hey Fatih, I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
Always working.
I'll call you back in 2 minutes.
So, I mean, basically, this is a house, one of yours behind us.
Absolutely.
Just tell us a little bit about it. You know, what's the
Sure.
deal? What's the game you're in?
Well, this house sold a couple years ago for right around $200,000. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. Every house that you buy that's bank-owned or distressed property in the U.S., almost 90% of them need a tremendous amount of work to get them right. And what we want to do is attract the best tenant that we can possibly get. And to do that, you've got to buy, number one, the right neighborhood, and you also got to have the right product. This house behind us, while it looks beautiful, it didn't look like that when we bought it. The entire outside had been re-landscaped, and it's been painted on the outside, and on the inside completely refurbished, painted the garage. Even the garage floors are painted, as well as garage door openers, ceiling fans in every room, flush mounts, tile in the kitchen. Really a nice house, and it's rented. We got tenants moving in this weekend for $1,350 a month. But the key is to put out a superlative product, and that's how you attract the right tenants. And what we do is we do guerrilla marketing. Is we've got so many things going on, so we have so many people to look at that want to get into our houses, including we do the background checks, call their jobs, verify their employment, verify their income. But we do something that most other people don't do. And this is really important for you guys that are watching this so far away, because most property managers they won't do the extra steps. And the extra step is simply this. When we've got a tenant that we've accepted on every level so far, what we're going to do is we're going to inspect where they live. Besides talking to their landlords, because people lie to get rid of tenants, and sometimes that person might even be a family member. We want to go inspect their house, but we don't tell them we're coming. We just talk to them and say, listen, we got to go over a few things on the app. Are you going to be available later? Can I reach you at home later? And when they say yeah, somebody goes over. They think we're calling on the phone. We go to their house. That's the extra step. That's the extra measure to try to ensure that our investors have a good, predictable income coming in every month that's sustainable. And you can't get sustainable rents when you're buying in cheap neighborhoods. So we up the scale, and we get, you know, by price, and we still are able to get very, very good returns for our investors, but we leave all the other competitors groveling for the garbage houses on the bottom of the market, which so many unsuspecting non-residents of America are buying in the wrong parts of the country and in the wrong parts of towns. And it's critical to have the right product if you want predictable, sustainable returns. So what I was telling to Scott and the fellows over here is the key is to buy the right product in the right area and have the right property management. Otherwise, all bets are off. And right now, America's on sale, and if you folks haven't gotten involved yet, I'm going to tell you right now, no kidding, it's ending. It's already ended in some parts of the country. It's coming back. This is America, home of the free and the brave. Come on over. Let's have some fun.
RJ, just a quick one. I mean, this house behind us has $115,000. So, I mean, just talk through the mechanics. It's $115,000. What are the sort of costs involved in terms of purchasing it? You know?
Yeah, excellent. Great question. All of our houses come with full attorney closings. What does that mean? You never wire money to us. You're not going to wire it to Scott or any of these guys either. I wouldn't wire them money. Are you crazy? No, but it goes to an attorney. And the reason we use attorneys here is because, number one, they're licensed. They have errors and omissions insurance. And if they do something wrong, they're going to lose their license and their ability to create an income. So for the closing costs on this house will be under $1,500. They're going to be between $1,000 and $1,500, and that comes complete with title insurance, which guarantees that you have good title on this property. Now, he didn't ask me, but I'm going to jump into something else. And you folks that are buying from afar, you need to be in tax compliance in the U.S. Most promoters that sell stuff here, number one, they don't own the stuff. They're just working off commissions. They really don't care what they say. They just want to get paid. And they don't care if you're in tax compliance, but our government does. And if you're not, they will screw you to the wall. So everybody that comes through our door and buys into our full cycle real estate system, we hook them up with the CPA. If you want an entity over here, if you want to own it personally or a land trust, we do all that for you. And the CPA will make sure that you're in tax compliance. And that is absolutely critical. And just stepping back 3 sentences, we buy everything we sell. We're not selling anybody else's stuff because most people don't do the rehabs to the level and the quality that we do. And we're very sensitive to that. Property management is the foundation to your business and your success to collect the rent.
RJ, can you talk a little bit about the Atlanta market versus Florida versus Phoenix versus California, because obviously South Africans there, you know, they don't know. I mean, we're looking at the great American dream over here as far as a family house is concerned. Do you want to maybe just touch on some of those
absolutely.
markets?
And you know, I'm probably, there's a lot of guys that look like me and do this kind of stuff over here in the USA, but there's not many that have bought in 12 different markets. And in 2009, I bought houses in 12 different states. And I wouldn't sell any of them to you guys over there because I like these guys over here, and they would look bad if I did. I live in Florida. I live in Tampa, Florida. And in 2005, I did, I think, 143 houses in Florida. Since that time, I've done, I think, 1, maybe 2. The market's not that good. And it's not that good from a cash flow standpoint because taxes, that's real estate taxes, and homeowners insurance is really expensive. If you look at Florida, it kind of looks a little bit like the continent of Africa. It's got water all the way around it. We get hurricanes. Insurance is very, very expensive. My personal residence where I live, my homeowners insurance went up last year from $1,500 to $3,500 a year. And so what happens is that's a fixed expense that never goes away and it destroys cash flow. So we don't buy there for the upside. The upside is right here in an emerging markets. And what you guys probably also don't know in South Africa is Florida is losing population. Yeah, there's an influx from South America moving to Miami because everybody that lives in Colombia thinks that Miami is the most northern city of Colombia. That's a localized market, and it's really, you've got to be really, really careful. There are some good markets in Florida, but you'll never get the cash-on-cash rates of return, and I don't believe the upside that we're going to have here because we're buying at a fraction of the cost, and you are too, of what it costs to build a house here. Follow the jobs, you'll follow the people. The Northeast, the Midwest, think about this, guys. America, land of the home, the free and the brave, used to be a manufacturing country. When you go back into the early part of this century, we had all the automobile industry was going great guns, and people settled into the Northeast and the Midwest. So that's where settlement really began in this country, and those houses are all old now. They're 80 to 100,000, or 100 years old. All that means is old houses mean new problems. Many of those cities are broke, the sewer lines are busted, water lines are busted. The people that stay get to pay for the rest of the people that have left because they have to raise taxes and create all kinds of fees. Very liberal up north, they have licensing of landlords. It's terrible. Here in Georgia, it is, okay, it's a pro-business state, okay? You go to eviction court here, the judge comes out and says, listen, if you're a tenant, you didn't pay your rent, and there's something wrong with your house, I don't care, I'm throwing you out, so you better work something out with the landlord in the back. Up in Detroit, I just got rid of a tenant, it took me 8 months, $3,000, and he destroyed the place. Not a good feeling. Plus the taxes on that house are $4,200 a year, and I only paid 17 grand for it. I mean, that's insane. The taxes on this house behind me, get out of the way, Brendan. The taxes on this house right here are under $2,000. I think they're right about $1,600 a year. The insurance on this house, because the property management company every year allows 3 different companies to bid on the insurance for our investors so that we got you the best price with the best insurance possible. Insurance on this house would probably be about $700 to $800 a year on the high side. If you go to Phoenix, the Phoenix market's already turned around. And, you know, Phoenix is a little bit different. Actually, it's a lot different than Florida. It's really a destination retirement place in our country here. I mean, there's lots of other stuff going on there as well. People from California like to come there to escape their own income taxes in California, which is a good reason not to buy there. State income tax approaches 10%, highest in the country.
This is in California.
Yeah, California, and it's flat broke. California is $20 billion in debt every year, projected for the next 5 years. Eventually, when the earthquake comes, then Nevada will be the border. That'll be on the coast, and Nevada be a good bet at that time. Probably unlikely to happen. And we don't like Nevada either. And the reason we don't like Las Vegas is because it's based on tourism. There's lots of other things going on, but as states go broke, like California, they're adding casinos to get more revenue, when they should just really legalize marijuana and tax the hell out of it, and people will quit smuggling it. I'm dead serious about that.
Ajay, I'm going to ask you one quick question. We've looked at a lot of single residential homes. Can you expand on what to buy, why single residential, why condos, or why not condos, HOA fees, that type of stuff?
Absolutely. I'm going to have to charge for this, so I want lunch, something. The truth is, in real estate, and I've been doing this for over 32 years, I've owned office buildings, I've owned mixed-use buildings, I've owned apartment buildings, and single-family houses like what you see in this neighborhood here are the most liquid of all real estate investments, and it's really easy to sell a house opposed to selling an office building, a shopping center, an apartment building, because when you buy that stuff, you're dealing with sophisticated investors, and you're only going to be able to sell to another investor, which means they're going to hammer you on price as best that they possibly can. Those types of property are also very difficult to finance, and so your exit plan is you're going to sell to another investor, and if you ever need any kind of money, it's a challenge to refinance those types of properties. With real estate, it's a lot different. You've got two exit plans in place. One is homeowners. I don't know if you ever notice this, but if business is bad and people have an office, they close the office down, they stop paying rent, but they still go home and sleep and eat every night. Okay, home is what's behind me. When things get bad in this country, people work out of their homes. Okay, so you can sell this to a homeowner, you can sell it to an investor, and it's really easy to finance a house. Typically, you go to the bank and you borrow money on it. Right now, credit is not that easy to get in the U.S., which is why this opportunity is so good, and why you guys in South Africa got to quit thinking about using leverage to get financing, because it's not going to happen here. As soon as you can get it, the rest of us can get it, and when we can get it, the market's going to go up and you're going to miss it. This is a cash buy time. This is the time cash is king. This is the time to buy for cash and replace your income with the income from these houses, and or use your retirement accounts. That's what we do in the U.S. In fact, in the U.S., 90% of my buyers use their retirement accounts, and of course we show them how to do that because we're experts in that area. But back to single family houses over the other stuff, hands down, because a homeowner will fall in love with this house and they buy for emotional reasons, so you can always get a lot more money than you'll ever get from an investor.
Well, what about condos then? I mean, you touch on condos and some of the bad experiences you've had with condos.
Absolutely. Condos are for people that they just don't understand, or they haven't owned any, and I've owned several. And the problem with condos is the HOAs are so strong, and if they don't do the right thing, or if there's lots of foreclosures, they cut back on services and they raise the fees on everybody else there. They're voting on your money. The last condo I had, they told me I couldn't rent it out, and I was leaving that, I was doing business in a different state in the country. I said, well, I can't sell it, it's a bad market. Well, we don't care. But they changed the rules from the time that I bought it to the time that I sold it. A condo I had before that, they had a lot of foreclosures in there, so they didn't pay the insurance for the buildings. When I had mine sold, the bank wouldn't lend money on it because the insurance wasn't paid. So the problem with condos is you've got other people, voting on your money, and you get some screwy people on those boards, and they just start doing things the way they want to, and you don't have a say. You just got to follow the crowd.
Ajay, I've got a question for you. It's a big country. We arrive over here, everyone knows out there, we've been to a lot of cities and everything else. I always maintain you're only as good as your partners. Who your partner on the ground. And as you've already said to us, you've alluded to it, but I want you to just speak to our clients and say, you've got the whole country to invest in, but you've chosen Atlanta. You don't even live here. You come up here, you've got a business, you commute back, your family's back in Tampa, etc. So again, you're really speaking with your feet, in terms of where you actually are. It's not just a case of there's a good deal for you here, that the market is here. But my question is, firstly, is that right? Is that where you are?
Absolutely.
Okay. My second question is, where do you see the market going? I know you don't have a crystal ball better than the rest of us, but where is it going? I mean, you've already spoken about Wall Street coming into the Main Street, etc. But where do you see it going?
Sure. Now, what did you say I speak with?
Pardon?
You said I speak with something. What do I speak with?
Authority.
Authority? No. I speak with my money, because all these houses that we sell, we buy. So if it's a questionable house, we don't buy it. We're only going to buy the stuff that we can sell, and we're only going to sell the stuff that's easy to manage, because management is the basis for your investment. If you can have the right house, the right neighborhood, the wrong manager puts the wrong tenant in it, and you're screwed. So what was that question?
The question was, where do you see the market going?
Okay.
You don't have a crystal ball.
There was a question before that.
Well, you're talking with your feet. You're in Atlanta. You could be anywhere in the country. You're here, basically.
I did buy in 12 different states, and I bought a lot of stuff. I bought bulk packages, which is really not the way to go for even anybody that's in the business, because they always throw in the garbage. And the people that sell that stuff are not necessarily reputable. They don't always even own what they are trying to sell. So they're just trying to make a commission off somebody. It's a scary game. But we bought in all these different markets, and there's many parts of the U.S. that are really, really, really liberal, okay? There's really consumer protection, tenant protected. Those are areas you have to avoid if you're a landlord, because this is about business. This is about capitalism. This is a pro-business state. We stopped all that stuff, and we're here because this is the best opportunity in the U.S. These guys have been all over the place. I think they're drawing their own conclusions, and they'll be able to really speak on that once they finish the whole tour. This place place is the rents are also so much higher than in other places for the amount of money that you got to spend. So it's a healthy rate of return. And what we buy in is these really nice subdivisions, okay, that are, and we're buying all newer stock. This house is only 5 years old. So why would somebody go to Pennsylvania or New York and buy a house that's 100 years old, that's seen 100 frigid winters? We have a nice climate here in Atlanta. It's growth. You know what people don't know? 75% of the Fortune 1000 companies have operations here, which means we have a tremendous base of employment. Besides, it's the busiest airport in the world. It's a transportation hub of the Southeast. AT&T is here, Delta is here, CNN is here, Coca-Cola is here, Rubbermaid is here. These are all really big companies employing a lot of people. But we also have a tremendous amount of professional services, as well as they're trying to make Atlanta the IT health capital of the country, and they're talking about adding over 100,000 jobs in the next few years. But additionally, Atlanta is projected to grow 20%, just under 20%, 19.84% between today and 2020. So when you invest in real estate, you want to invest where people are moving to. That's what drives the values. That's what
just to confirm though, that's population growth.
Population growth.
Just yeah. So I mean, basically for me, it's we're not projecting capital growth of 19.8%, but anyone that's been in real estate long enough will know that the fundamentals of population growth are fundamental. So
sure.
That's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I made a point a little while ago about we used to be a manufacturing country. In 1960, 54% of our jobs were in manufacturing. Today, it's 9%. So the whole Midwest, the Northeast, has really changed radically. And if you're my age, and I'm approaching 60, sooner than I'd like to tell you, but if you lived in the Northeast, all you want to do is get the heck out of there. The Midwest, the winters are horrific. Everybody wants to come south. The cost of living in Florida is very, very expensive. People are coming partway down. That's Atlanta. And you know what? We got everything here. Every major sports team is here. You've got theater, you've got parks, you've got everything here. This is a, I forgot what they call it, but it's a, I don't know, a new age city. This is the place to be. One of the places, one of the best places for quality of life is right here in Atlanta.
RJ, back to the question though. I'm taking the piss. No, but seriously.
Did I miss it?
Now the question is, and again, you don't have a crystal ball, but where's the market going? You know, you said things are changing, Wall Street's getting involved. You know,
sure.
What's happening basically on the ground here?
Well, anybody that's not living in a cave already heard about Warren Buffett came out and said he'd buy 100,000 houses if he could figure out how to get them managed, something like that. Their quote went something like that. Well, that triggered an avalanche of interest in people now waking up, recognizing the opportunity is now and it's going to slip by. Because people that sit on the sidelines are, you know, there's no bell at the bottom of the market. We're there. This right here, we're here. Hedge funds are already here. I've been approached by literally 5 of them. They just don't make sense to me to get them involved in my business. They want too much. But I would say this, when you're buying for half of what it costs to build, you can't go wrong. As people continue to move here, the values are going to go up. The prices that we're buying at, they're worth way more than what we're buying at right now in today's market. My crystal ball tells me this. If you're looking to buy and flip, forget about it. Just forget about it, that this isn't the right market for you, and I don't know if there is a right market in the U.S. This is the best time since I've been in this business, 32 years, to buy and hold. And I think that everybody should be looking at least a 5-year period. We should double, 5 to 7 years, something like that. We could. There's no guarantees. Nobody can guarantee that. Just that you're going to pay taxes and die someday. That's about the only guarantee we can give you.
What about the tenants though? You know, you've got this very clever option with a 3-year lease option, purchase option. I love this psychology. If you wouldn't mind explaining a little bit about that, you know, but I mean, I'm an investor. I'm a long way away from home. You know, who are my tenants?
Sure. Your tenants are my tenants. Your people are my people. We have tenants from every different kind of walk of life, from teachers to nurses to truck drivers, transportation hub of the Southeast. I'm not kidding, there are a ton of drivers around here that we have as tenants. They come from all walks of life. But the option thing, excuse me one second. Okay, I'm back. That option that we give people, and I've been using options since the mid-'80s, it's really more psychological than anything. These are people that want to get into a house, they still have the American dream of owning again, and they might. Will they do it in 3 years? Nobody knows where the appraisals are going to be, where the market's going to be, if the banks are lending, because we could revert to what they do in Europe, which is about 20% down, which would probably be a good thing. The play for investors right now is buy and hold, get a nice return every month. Down the road, we should be looking really, really good 5 to 10 years here in Atlanta. And you know what, folks? You could put your money in the stock market, which is gambling, because we know that the numbers aren't always right. You could put your money in gold, put it in a closet, let it collect dust. You don't get a check every month. There's nothing like real estate. Nothing ever has been like real estate. And the other thing that you got here, besides those plays, which you don't get with the stocks and gold, mutual funds and such, is you get tax write-offs. So a lot of your income isn't even taxed here in the U.S., and you enjoy the same privileges as we do that live here.
Just for the South Africans out there, you've got to say that RJ is also one of the master investors in personal real estate investor magazines. You're doing a lot of it on the front cover, so obviously you carry weight in this particular area.
Well, he actually got an award for one of the top 50 people in US real estate.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
You know, we're not looking for awards, folks. We're just looking for money. Would you please send yours today in a box, unmarked bills? You know, and when I say big bills, I don't mean big long ones. I mean, you know, large denominations, I should say.
Cool.
It's nice to be recognized for being an expert in this area, and I know a lot of guys throughout the country that do exactly what I do. And when they come from their parts of the country, we've had them in from Phoenix, we've had them in from Vegas. After about 20 minutes, they're wiping drool off their face because of what we can get that they can't get. And we're not making this stuff up. This is the time to buy, and it is limited. If we got 2 more years here, I'd be amazed. But God only knows what the government we have in place with intervention and stupid stuff that they come up with sometimes. It could go longer, but I doubt it. My intuition tells me we've got a short run here. I'm hoping 2 years.
Perfect. Well, listen, thanks very much. We look forward to seeing some more property.
Let's do it, guys. We're marching. Let's march.